move my hair on here. Hello, sorry, I'm just trying to get the angle right, as I always do. So hello and welcome to my Transformation Through Tarot mini-series. I think we're on episode 5, and today I'm going to be looking at how your intuition comes into play when you are reading tarot. So I'll just wait a few minutes and see if anyone jumps on the live, and then I'll get started. And if you're watching on the replay, hello and thank you for joining. Or if you're also, I have been uploading these videos onto YouTube and onto Instagram as well. So if you're watching on there, drop me a comment and say hello. I have been running around like mad this morning. I started to clean the house at like 9 o'clock and only finished about 1:45. Most of the time spent doing the kitchen, like cleaning the oven and the fridge, the microwave, sorting out cupboards, because when you were opening the cupboard loads of stuff fall out. It's not very high vibe, is it? So feel much better now in a nice clean house, although once the where is it, the Christmas tree comes down, I guess much as it's nice having it up, you just feel the house just feels so clean and fresh. Anyway, without further ado, I shall get on with the episode, because I like to get this done before I go and get the children from school, and before it goes dark, because when I have to put the light on above, it's really hard to get the lighting right. So we're looking at tarot and intuition. So your intuition sometimes can be known as your gut feeling, your inner knowing, following your heart, just knowing, inner wisdom, as I say, and yeah, gut feeling. So it's that sort of that feeling of just knowing something. Of sometimes you may get flashes of intuition. It could be like a little voice saying to you, "Oh, don't drive home from work that way." It could or could not mean something. Maybe not. Maybe it would mean something positive, that you might go home a different way, and you might pass somebody that you've not seen before for a while, and you might think, "Oh, I must give such and such a body a ring," or you might see somebody that reminds you of somebody you've not seen for a while, and then it could prompt you to give somebody a ring. I just got this mad thing in my intuition. Maybe it's me being paranoid, but it was probably about a year ago, not to take a certain route home down the motorway. Near us, they're making a smart motorway, and I used to get on it when I was going to see a particular client, and my intuition just said to me, "Don't go that way anymore, go the long way round." Maybe it's just my paranoia. Sometimes that can come into play, but I'd never go that way home. Now I always take the long way and go through back through the village and that way, rather than taking the shortcut down the motorway. But in any case, so how does intuition come into play with the tarot? So I have made some notes. If you see me keep looking down, that's why I'm doing that, because anyone who knows me knows I do have a tendency to go off on a tangent, so it's just to help me stick to the point. So as you know, when you buy your deck of cards, usually they do come with a guidebook. Now, the most recent set that I got, the Teacup Tarot, they didn't come with a guidebook. They were a beautiful set of cards, and they came with a separate book about connecting to your angels. But more often than not, your tarot cards will come with a guidebook. You can look on the internet for a basic overview of what cards mean. There are other books you can buy to give you an overview of what the cards mean. Obviously, you can do courses in tarot to give you an overview of what the cards mean. I've talked about the minor arcana and the major arcana briefly. But it's the best way to read the tarot really is to use your intuition as a prompt. Use the cards as a prompt for your intuition, for your inner wisdom, and to really access your unconscious mind. So when I read tarot for somebody, when I'm reading the cards with somebody, I will use my intuition. So I will look at the card, and different things might stand out for me, for that person. I'm quite sensitive to people's energies as well when they're in the room with me, or if we're doing a virtual call. So I will use my intuition that way, and I will work with my clients as well, and I will ask them on the card, what jumps out for you on this card at the moment? Is there anything that jumps out for you? And obviously if nothing does jump out for them, then that's absolutely fine, and then we'll have a discussion, and I'll use my intuition, and I will talk about the card and what different aspects of the card mean, and then that will sort of spark intuitive hits for myself and my client. Sometimes it might be that there's a particular thing on that card. It could be so one of the cards has a dog on it. That the dog for somebody might reflect that their loyalties are being tested, or they feel somebody is being disloyal to them, or that loyalty is an important thing for them in a relationship. So different things will mean different things. Different things will mean things differently, if you get me, for different people. There's a lot of difference in that sentence, isn't there? So yeah, so I'll ask the client, what does that card mean for you? So anyone can be intuitive. You don't need to have special psychic gifts or powers or be a medium or able to speak to the spiritual world in order to be intuitive. You just need to be able to listen to your inner knowing and your inner voice, and to just access that unconscious part of your mind. And there are lots of ways that you can practice developing your intuition. On Instagram and TikTok, there are little different intuition tests. I've done them once or twice where I might have like 3 cups or 3 jars that you can't see through, and I'll put crystal under one, and I'll say, guess which jar has the crystal under it. And other people do similar things as well. You can do those. You can, a great way as well to listen to your intuition is just like simply when you're sort of thinking about, like I say, which way to drive home from work, which shops to go in first in town, where to go and get coffee, whether to have a latte or a cup of tea. Just listening into your inner knowing and seeing what that inner voice is telling you, what to have for breakfast, whether to have a sugar in your tea, things like that. Just getting used to really listening to yourself, and like things like your intuitive eating as well, really listening, like what does my body need right now. Sometimes the first thing that you think you need, which may be coffee or sugar, particularly in my case, isn't necessarily what you really need. So it's just really tuning down into yourself. And like I say, your intuition is like a muscle that the more you use it, the more you practice using it, the better you'll become, the more intuitively you'll become. So the best way, as I say, to read tarot is by using your intuition. So by sort of taking out a card, I'll go and get some cards now just to give a quick example. So by sort of just going through your cards one by one when you've got the time, or not even just saying, like, today I'm going to look through 5 cards and just see what sparks your intuition about that card and how it relates to like what's going on in your life. So for example, I'll choose this one now. So have a little good look at that one. So this is the 4 of Swords. So for some people, what might spark their intuition is the nest. It could be like, and that could remind them of their home, and it could remind them that they need to. Oh, Tanya, sorry, I'm not pulling cards today. It's a live about using your intuition with tarot, but I am offering personal readings. If you'd like to book in for one, you can drop me a DM or look out for the next time I do card pulls. So with this card, you would maybe, some people might look at the nest, and that might remind them that they want to spend more time at home. They could be thinking about moving homes, making their home more cozy, making home improvements. Obviously the lady is sleeping, she's resting. It could intuitively, it could suggest that you know that you need to rest a little more, you need to take a little bit of time out to shut yourself. You might want to shut yourself off a little bit. Obviously she's on her own, so for some people it might make them feel like, spark feelings of like isolation, and why am I feeling lonely, why am I feeling isolated at the moment. So the tarot is just, and again obviously there you've got the heart as well, so that could mean something for people. So it's about choosing that card and really studying it and saying, and it's a prompt to get into your unconscious mind to help you sort of verbalize and sort of see different solutions or different answers. That is how I use the tarot, and the best way in order to do that isn't by looking in the guidebook. By all means, I refer to the guidebook sometimes to see whether what I'm seeing intuitively with the card matches up with the traditional explanation. But definitely, if you're wanting to get into reading tarot, definitely connect with and use your intuition, and just practice being more intuitive. So as I say, it's just been a little quick live today. I'm going to upload it onto my Facebook group, and I will be uploading it onto Instagram and YouTube so that it's there for people to watch. So thank you very much for tuning in. If you're watching on the replay, also thank you as well, and I shall hopefully see you tomorrow. It's getting nearer and nearer to Christmas, isn't it? Where I will be looking tomorrow at questions you can ask the tarot. So have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.